Hello, students. In a molecular basis of inheritance, we have been comparing between DNA and RNA as which is the most favorable genetic material like that. Otherwise, we already know that RNA is evolved first, but still DNA is used as the most favorable genetic material by majority of the living organisms. Except few viruses, all the other organisms are using DNA as the genetic material. Even among viruses also, there are many viruses which use DNA as the genetic material. The reason for this we have seen already. RNA is not much stable when compared with DNA. RNA cannot store much information and it does not have say double standard actually. Because of even though RNA can act as a catalyst, even though it is involved in many metabolic activities along with controlling some genetic information like that, DNA is the most preferred material because DNA can store more genetic information and it is more stable. It undergoes a slow rate of mutation. During evolution, there should not be fast mutation. So slow rate of mutation should be there. And a more stable molecule also. Due to the presence of deoxyribose sugar, which is less reactive than the ribose sugar. And due to the presence of thymine, which is called 5-methyl uracil, we can say. So because of all those properties, DNA becomes the most favorable genetic material. In this class or in this lecture, let us see some points related to replication of DNA. I am going to discuss here. DNA replication we are going to discuss in this class actually. In the previous lecture I told you replication is the one of the important properties of a genetic material. Any genetic material must be able to duplicate. It must be able to produce its own copy. That replicating ability is there in the DNA also. And how the DNA replicates, what is the mechanism involved in DNA replication, everything we are going to see. Here, Crick proposed one important idea. Of course, Watson and Crick, they proposed the model for DNA, duplex model. Even Crick told about central dogma of life also. In addition to that, Crick contributed one idea about replication of DNA also here. What is the idea of Crick regarding replication means? Crick told that DNA will replicate by a process called as semi-conservative mechanism. DNA replicates by a process called semi-conservative mechanism, he told. Of course, he did not prove it experimentally. He just proposed the concepts, he just proposed the theoretical points here. Theoretical ideas were proposed by Crick. Later, it was proved experimentally also. So, what is meant by semi-conservative model, we have to see here. So, DNA replicates by semi-conservative mechanism. DNA has got a double helix. It is a master molecule, it is controlling the central dogma, and DNA replicates by semi-conservative mechanism. These three proposals were given by Crick one day. Now, according to semi-conservative mechanism, imagine this point. Suppose, imagine this is the parental DNA molecule having two strands in it means, you know that there are two chains present here, two polynucleotide chains present here. One of the chains is having 5' 3' condition means another chain is having 3', 5' condition, that is the anti-parallelity, you know that point. What happens during replication here means, listen to me. during replication, the two chains of the DNA, parental DNA molecule, will separate from each other. They will separate from each other like this from a particular point. That is, they are ready for replication, we are telling. After separating, each parental strand will be called as one template, we are telling. Remember one point, this is acting like a template, and this is also can act as a template, this also can act as a template. Remember this point. So two templates are formed. In the two templates, one of them is 5 prime, 3 prime. Another one is 3 prime, 5 prime, we can remember. Now what they do means, they synthesize a new chain, new polynucleotide chain on each template. Each template will be synthesizing another new nucleotide chain. This will be synthesizing one polynucleotide chain like this. This will be synthesizing another polynucleotide chain like this. Remember one interesting point. Crick told that the newly synthesized polynucleotide chain will be complementary to the parental template, he told. For example, if adenine is here, opposite thymine only can come and pair here. If guanine is here, here cytosine. If cytosine is in the template, new chain will have guanine. Like that, complementarity will be formed. After forming complementarity, after synthesizing new strands, how they will join? Please listen carefully. How they will join, how they will become two DNA molecule. This is parental DNA. How parental DNA replicates, I am talking here. Please listen. There are two major ways for synthesizing new daughter molecule. What can happen in the first option? What can happen means both parental chain can join together, and this both newly formed chain can join together. By this method, you can get what is the DNA molecule. This is one possibility. Please listen. After producing new chain, how they will become two daughter molecules? Either by this method or by this method. This is a second option. Let me write here. In the second option, we tell that one of the parental strand will be here, one newly synthesized chain will be drawing here. These two may join together, and this template will join with its own complementary strand. Remember, there can be another possibility of forming the structure like this. These are also daughter molecule, these are also daughter molecule. Here, what is the difference between these two options? Here, parental molecules, parental strands will rejoin, they will remain normal. Newly synthesized strands will join among, because they are also complementary. Imagine if adenine is here, here thymine. Here opposite to that adenine will come. So this adenine, this thymine can also join. Is it or not? There is a possibility. So this is one possibility, this is one possibility. Now among these two mechanisms, what Crick believed means, second option is followed by living organism. First option is not happening in the living things. In living things, the newly formed daughter DNA molecules will retain 50% of parental strand in it. If the newly formed daughter DNA will be 50% parental and 50% new, he told. So this daughter molecule will have one of the parental strands. Another strand is newly synthesized. This daughter molecule will have one of the parental strands. White color I have given. Another daughter molecule will be newly synthesized. Do you get this point? If this is the condition, We call this mechanism as a semi-conservative mechanism we are telling. You know, conservation means retaining. Soil conservation, water conservation, forest conservation, like that we have studied. Semi-conservation means half, 50% retention. Here also, the two strands are separating. After separating, the parental strands or template strands do not join among themselves. Once they separated, that's all. Now they will be synthesizing their own new strand, complementary strand. That complementary new strand and template will join, they will become one daughter molecule. This another template strand will join with its own newly synthesized, and it will become the second daughter molecule. So what happens at the end? One parental molecule becomes two daughter molecules. This is called replication. This mechanism is known as semi-conservative mechanism. Conservation means retaining. Semi means 50%. We are not 100% restoring the DNA, parental DNA. It is not 100% restored. Only 50% is restored. That is in one DNA daughter, another 50% restored in another daughter. That is called semi-conservative mechanism of DNA replication. Now listen carefully. How this, when this replication takes place, what are the requirements for this replication? What is the proof for this replication? What evidence we can give for semi-conservative mechanism? I will tell you here. So, we are going to see about a proof for, experimental proof for semi-conservative mechanism. Crick did not give experimental proof. He just proposed an idea because it is his responsibility after elucidating the DNA model. It becomes his responsibility to tell how his model could replicate. That replication is by a mechanism called semi-conservative mechanism. In semi-conservative mechanism, one of the parental strands will be retained by one daughter molecule. Another parental strand will be retained by another daughter molecule. That is called semi-conservation. Please make note of this. I will explain you about experimental proof for this semi-conservation. Whether it is true, whether it is really happening, we shall discuss. An important 5-mark question we are going to discuss. Please go through this. So, what is semi-conservation? Retention of 50% of parental molecule by each daughter molecule. Each daughter molecule will retain 50% of the parental molecule. I am just repeating it because it is a very important idea. Each newly synthesized daughter molecule will have 50% parental DNA and 50% newly synthesized DNA strand, or one out of two strands. One strand will be parental, another strand will be newly synthesized strand, we can say. Okay. For this, where is the proof? What is the experimental proof, evidence we are giving for this mechanism? This mechanism was experimentally proved by two scientists, namely Michelson and Stahl, we are telling. So there is an experimental proof for semi-conservative mechanism that I am going to explain here. Experimental proof for semi-conservative mechanism. An important 5-mark question we are going to see here. Semi-conservative mechanism. What is the experimental proof we are going to give here? There are two scientists, namely Michelson and Stahl, we can see. This Michelson and Stahl, in the year 1958, they conducted one experiment in E. coli bacterium. You might have heard about this bacterium, Escherichia coli bacterium it is called. It is of course a symbiotic bacterium living in our gut also. This Michelson and Stahl, what they did means, they cultured this E. coli bacterium in a medium containing N15 heavy isotope medium. There was a medium for culturing the bacteria. That medium was prepared with N15 heavy isotope. I am not using the word radioisotope. It is not radioactive isotope. It is heavy isotope. What can be prepared by this N15 or with this N15 means? They took ammonium chloride or NH4Cl by using this N15. Now in that medium, when bacteria is cultured, the bacteria will utilize that nitrogen and it will construct its bases, nitrogenous bases. You may be recalling that point. In any nucleotide, there will be sugar, nitrogenous base and phosphoric acid. When bacteria is growing in this medium, they will use this nitrogen 15 heavy isotope and all its nitrogen containing component, including some proteins, will be having that N15. Do you get my point? When you culture this E. coli for several generations, imagine 5 or 10 generations, you are allowing it to multiply there. Now what will happen? The DNA of that E. coli will become N15 in nature. Very important point, listen here. So DNA of the E. coli will become N15. Remember, this is the parental DNA I am drawing like this. It has got 2 strands in this way. It has got 2 strands. In both the strands, there is N15 present. Here also N15, here also N15. So this is the parental DNA. Let me write here. What is the characteristic feature of parental molecule? It has got N15 heavy isotope in both its strands incorporated. How it got N15? By culturing them in the NH4, N15 H4Cl like that. In that medium, when bacteria is cultured continuously, they will take that N15, absorb that, incorporate it in their DNA or in their nitrogenous base. So nitrogenous base of this DNA will become heavy molecule. It will become heavy compared with normal DNA. Normal DNA is not so much heavy, but when it is incorporated with N15, it becomes heavy DNA. How can we observe that heavy DNA? How do we know it has become heavy DNA? How to know it? For this, they used one technique called cesium chloride centrifugation technique. They used. They have subjected that DNA molecule. They isolated some E. coli from the medium, not all, some of them have been isolated, and their DNA was isolated by a mechanism called centrifugation. What is centrifugation? Subjecting that biochemical molecule for more RPM, rotation per minute. Due to gravitational force in the test tube of that cesium chloride, heavy DNA will settle. Remember this point. This is the test tube I am taking in, and I am centrifugating that DNA molecule, and I am seeing whether it has become heavy DNA or not. I am just checking it. Now what happens, due to its heaviness, the DNA molecule will form a band in the cesium chloride structure. So this is the cesium chloride centrifugation medium. Here the DNA becomes arranged at the base, that is called heavy DNA, I can see. Okay, so this is the parental DNA. What is the characteristic of a parental DNA? Both strands are having N15 in their nitrogenous bases. So they have become heavy in nature during cesium chloride centrifugation technique, I can say. Due to its heaviness and due to gravitational force, centrifugal force, these molecules have settled down. They have become a thick band at the base of the test tube. Okay. Now, remaining E. coli is there. No, some they have isolated. They found that it is undergone this one. What is that? Heavy. Now, remaining E. coli were allowed to multiply further. Now, what happened? Within 20 minutes, you know the nature of E. coli bacteria. When all the conditions are favorable in the medium or in the laboratory, for every 20 minutes they will produce its own daughter cells. E. coli will produce another group of daughter cells. But what Messelson and Stahl did means, this time for the second, otherwise parental, for the first generation, I am talking about first generation here. For the first generation, what they did means, they did not grow the bacterium in N15 medium. They grew the bacterium in N14 medium actually. N14 H4Cl medium they took for the next generation. You see, for several generations, E. coli was cultured in N15 medium. All its DNA have become heavy due to that heavy isotope. After some time, they removed certain parents and cultured them in the N14 medium. Do you get my point? For the next, they cultured it in the N14 medium. Again, they got daughter molecules. Is there not? Naturally, after 20 minutes, there will be replication. When they analyzed the replicated DNA, they found two daughter molecules. This is one parental molecule. Naturally, it will become two daughter molecules. Each daughter molecule will be having a structure like this. One strand is here, another strand is a newly synthesized strand is here like this. I hope you are getting this diagram. Here, two daughter molecules are formed. One of these daughter molecules are having one strand N15. N15 strand is there. That is old strand obtained from the parent. Another strand is newly synthesized. It is newly synthesized from the normal, otherwise N14 ammonium chloride. So this strand is having N14. Here also, one strand is having N14. That is newly synthesized. It is N14. This old strand is there known, that parental strand, that is N15 here. So this DNA having N14 and N15 both in it will be called as hybrid DNA, we are telling. Sir, how can we see this DNA molecule? Can we observe this N14 and N15 directly means? It is not possible. So then how can we observe it? Again go for centrifugation, cesium chloride centrifugation. So this is first generation daughter molecules are isolated after 20 minutes. Then they are subjected for cesium chloride technique. Now listen carefully. What will be the band of DNA in the cesium chloride medium? I am talking about first generation. Here this is after 20 minutes we are getting first generation. This is the parental molecule. Both are N15. Both are N15 means heavy DNA. But what about first generation means they do not settle at the bottom. They are not so heavy because they are contain N14 also. N14 is lighter than N15. So what happens? A band will be created in the middle of the test tube like this. It is not complete heavy DNA. It is partly heavy, partly normal. This is called, you see the position of DNA band in this test tube and in this test tube. Here it is exactly at the bottom due to its heaviness. Here this is called as hybrid DNA we are telling. What is the meaning hybrid DNA? It is having one strand N15, another strand N14. So in when you culture the same bacterium in N14 medium, they take nitrogen 14 and synthesize new nucleotides. Those new nucleotides are in the form of that N14. That N14 becomes one new strand. So remember, here it is called a hybrid DNA. Already we discussed this point. DNA replication is semi-conservation we are telling. Here I gave you two options you may recall. First option is both parental strand would have joined together, both newly synthesized would have joined together. That is the first option. But it is not happening according to Crick. That is what proved by Messelson and Stahl here. Imagine if we had got one heavy band and one N14 band, N15 band here, N14 band here, then I could have told that this is not semi-conservation. But we are not getting two bands. We are not getting two white strand, two pink strand here. We get a hybrid character. So only hybrid band is formed in the test tube. That indicates it is a semi-conservation mechanism. Are you getting my point? If both strands are parental, I should have got one heavy band. If in this daughter molecule, if both strands are newly synthesized, I should have got one light band here, N14 band, N15 band. Two bands I should have got. But we are not getting like that. We get a hybrid band. What is hybrid? It is having both N14 and N15. So hybrid band is obtained means it is nothing but a semi-conservative mechanism. Let us further go for next generation for substantiate this experiment. After 40 minutes, imagine, after 40 minutes, once again you take the second generation. From this, how we could get second generation, we will see. In this time also we use N14 only. N14 only we are taking. Once again we don't go for N15. Parent was N15, heavy. Hybrid, first generation was hybrid. What will happen to second generation? Please listen. If it is a semi-conservation mechanism, this daughter molecule should give two daughter molecules. Granddaughter molecule I can say. This should give two granddaughter molecules. So I am talking about second generation here. Second generation. First generation we have seen. Now we are seeing about second generation. Please listen. In this case, this daughter molecule undergoes semi-conservation. It will produce one of the strands, heavy strand like this. Another strand formed from the medium will be the new strand. It will be N14 like this, because the medium taken here is N14. So N14 strand is produced here, imagine like this. This will become one daughter molecule. What about another granddaughter molecule? This pink color strand or N14 strand can become one of the, what is that, template here. This will act as one template, this will act as one template. So this will become one template molecule, template strand here, and newly synthesized one is also from N14. So this will also be N14 only. Do you get this point? This is also a pink color only, and a pink color strand we are getting. Two granddaughter molecules where one of them will be having N15 strand and N14 strand, hybrid DNA, one of them. This here also two in this granddaughter molecule, both are N14. Both are N14. Why both are N14? This template is also N14, newly synthesized dot chain also N14. So they form semi-conservative mechanism. Let us see about this parental molecule. It will also undergo replication, isn't it? Here also two strands are there. One is N15, another one is N14. Remember now, N15 strand will become like this. This is the one template, it is acting like a template. Newly synthesized strand for this template will be from N14. So this will be N14 DNA, otherwise polynucleotide chain, we can see. So this will become one granddaughter DNA. What about another granddaughter? It will produce two, I told you, this one. The pink color or N14 strand will also act as a template here. This is one template, and newly synthesized is also forming a N14 only. So in this case, both strands are N14. Here in this case, one of them is N15, another one is N14. Already I told you one point. N15 is heavy DNA, N14 is light DNA, N14, N15, a mixer is hybrid DNA. Now what do we get in this second generation granddaughters? One of them is hybrid. Otherwise, two hybrid strands are formed, two light strands are formed from two parental generation or two parental first generation molecules. So these two molecules, both of them are hybrid. They will give rise to two hybrid, two light. Here completely heavy only. One heavy DNA molecule produces two hybrid molecules in the first generation. Later what happens? Two hybrid molecules produces two hybrid plus two light chain. If I do the centrifugation method, let me draw here, there is no space. If I draw the centrifugation CCM chloride technique, what diagram I will get? This will be the test tube. I am drawing about second generation. Okay, in this test tube, I will get two types of bands. There will be some light DNA molecule. There will be some hybrid DNA molecule. Is there any heavy DNA molecule here? No, no heaviness. Slowly that heavy DNA molecule is getting reduced in the number. Why? Because you have used NH4, N14 you have used. Since N14 light medium is used, you are getting more light strands. You see, out of four granddaughter molecules, there will be only one N15. Remaining all the three are lightness. So light DNA number increases, heavy DNA number decreases when you go for further generations. So dear students, remember, we will be getting light DNA band here, light DNA band, it will be above because it is light. Only heavy will be below. Hybrid DNA will be in the middle. Is it or not? This is hybrid DNA where one strand will be N15, another strand will be N14. So I am getting two bands, two types of bands. One of them is hybrid. Another one hybrid, another one is light. Light DNA is made up of N14, both chains. Hybrid DNA is made up of one N14, one N15. Heavy DNA is made up of both N15 only. So listen carefully. If we are going on increasing the generation, if we are going on observing generation, more and more generations, heavy DNA number, heavy DNA strands will reduce and you will get light DNA molecules more because the medium taken here is N14. Now, from this what do we infer? One of the parental strands only is retained by the daughter molecule. If both strands are retained, here imagine, here also you could have got only light DNA molecules only. So this is called semi-conservative mechanism. Out of two daughter strands of the granddaughter molecule, or out of two strands of the granddaughter molecule, one is newly synthesized, one is retained from the parent. So this experiment clearly proves that there is semi-conservation followed by E. coli like that. So DNA replication follows semi-conservation. Very important experiment, Michelson and Stahl experiment. You can imagine how questions can be asked in CET or NEET exam also based on this. Suppose there was a question like this. Instead of using N14, if N15 medium is used for second generation, what will happen? Here you are using N15 means number of heavy DNA molecule strands will increase, light DNA will decrease. Do you get this point? Number of heavy DNA molecules will increase if you use N15. Since we are using N14, number of light DNA molecules get increased. Please make note of this. We will continue. Just there can be other type of questions also based on this experiment, Michelson and Stahl experiment. They will ask you a question by changing the medium. Instead of N14, N15. Instead of N15, N14. Something like that they can ask. That is one type of question. Another type of question will be in third generation, if N14 molecule is used or medium is used, what will be the things like that? Imagine in third generation, there will be 8 granddaughter molecule, is it not? Because four of them will act as parent. Each one will produce 2. This will produce 2 daughter molecule, this will produce 2, this like that. Totally 8 will be produced. Out of 8, only 2 will be hybrid. This is one N15, one N15. Out of 8 molecules, 2 will be hybrid. Because this one and this one only, this white color, this only will give you the heavy molecule. Remaining all the 6 daughter molecules will be light only. Do you get my point? So you will get more light band and a very small hybrid band in the third generation. This type of questions are possible, and this diagram indicates a semi-conservation model. Every generation has got one parental, one daughter molecule. Imagine if there is no semi-conservative mechanism, you will not get hybrid at all. You will get one heavy daughter molecule, one new light daughter molecule. Here itself, in the first itself, you could have got two bands. But you are getting hybrid means, what is the meaning? One strand is heavy, another strand is light. Light strand is obtained from medium, heavy strand is obtained from the parental molecule. Just make note here, remember N15 is not a radioisotope. You will not get colored bands and all in the X-ray sheets. It is not a radioisotope, it is a heavy isotope. For understanding heavy isotope, what is the technique we are using? Cesium chloride density centrifugation, it is called. In a cesium chloride medium, if you deposit the DNA and centrifuge it, there will be sediments formed by the DNA. Heavy DNA will settle at the bottom of the test tube. Hybrid DNAs will settle in the middle of the test tube. Light DNA will be above all, like that. So, by analyzing the test tube of centrifugation, you can come to a conclusion whether DNA has followed semi-conservation or not. Very important experiment, Michelson and Stahl experiment. In which organism? E. coli. By using heavy isotope. Remember, already 3 experiments we have seen. One is Griffith experiment in the search for genetic material. Another one is this McLeod, McAvery and McRT experiment. Biochemical characterization of genetic material. Third one was regarding this Hershey and Chase experiment, where isotopes, radioactive isotopes S35 and P32 were used. Now here we are talking about Michelson and Stahl experiment. So 4 experiments we have seen. Each is worth of a 5-mark question. Any one can be definitely asked in the board exam. So remember, don't get confused. 3 experiments belong to search for genetic material, and Michelson and Stahl experiments belongs to experimental proof, evidence for replication of genetic material. Let us continue. Just make note. Another 2 seconds. Listen, students. This proof was based on Escherichia coli. You know, Escherichia coli is a bacterium which is a prokaryotic cell. Is there any example for eukaryotic means? There were other group of experiments done by some other scientists. Here we are not talking about E. coli. There were other group of scientists, namely Taylor et al. Okay. Taylor et al. Refers to Taylor and his group of scientists, like that. Not Tailor. Your Taylor, okay. This is Taylor et al. We are telling. This scientist and his group, they worked on a plant actually. Vicia faba is the type of leguminous plant. Vicia faba is a type of leguminous plant. It is a type of pea plant, we can say. In that plant, they studied about a mechanism of DNA replication. But what they did means they did not isolate DNA, because in prokaryotes it is easy to isolate the DNA. In eukaryotes, DNA is available in the form of a chromatid, chromosome, packed thing will be available. So they worked on chromosomes mainly. They worked on chromosomes by using radioactive thymidine they used. What is the substance used for this Vicia faba means it is radioactive thymidine. That means, thymidine refers to thymine base plus deoxyribose sugar, everything. So that thymine base is made with radioactivity. Such radioactive thymine, when it is incorporated in DNA, because thymine is present in DNA, their movements and their color nature will be identified in the chromosomes. So they studied about chromosomal duplication. Remember, in the chromosomes, they proved this semi-conservative mechanism. Imagine this point. This is the parental chromosome, parental chromatid. During S phase, it duplicates, it produces sister chromatids we have seen. Imagine, this is the sister chromatid. Now when you suppose the sister chromatid will be appearing like this. Suppose imagine if I allow this parental chromatid to grow in a medium containing radioactive thymine, means not N15, N14, it is radioactive thymine. How the DNA new strand will be produced? It will be produced by this, like this it will be produced. One strand, this is the daughter DNA, daughter chromatid, having two sister chromatids with one centromere. This is called duplication. In meiosis, we are getting this one. This is radioactive thymine will be present here and there. Wherever thymine is there, adenine, guanine, cytosine are not radioactive. Thymine only became radioactive, that will become a colorful chromatid. This will be original parental strand. Original parental strand is without color or without radioactivity. Newly synthesized strand is with radioactivity. When you get such type of DNA or chromosome, it is called hybrid chromosome. It can be called, it is a hybrid molecule. So this also indicates there is semi-conservation with reference to eukaryotes also. Prokaryotes were proved by Michelson and Stahl. In eukaryotes, chromosomes were studied directly. Vicia faba is the first plant used for this explanation. Taylor et al., Taylor and his group of scientists proved this one. Later in human beings also, by using the same method, it was proved that chromosomes duplicate by this hybrid method. Okay. Let me stop with this in today's class. We shall continue in the next lecture about mechanism of, otherwise what are the real events involved in replication. Today one important point you learnt, DNA replicates by semi-conservation mechanism, and for that experimental proof was given by Michelson and Stahl in the E. coli bacterium by using N15. Later, Vicia faba and other eukaryotes we have dealt. Let me stop with this today. We shall continue in the next lecture regarding the mechanism of replication. Okay, right. Thank you.